First off, I want to say I'm really honored to speak with you, man. I love the band. Um, I'm a relatively new fan too, probably just over the last 3 or 4 years, but that's all I had to do was hear the band once, and that was it.
Yeah, but thank you very much. We need new fans.
Yeah, it's good. In the U.S. too, it just seems like we need the metal injection. Let's put it that way. It's kind of like one of those things that's I don't know. It seems to be phasing out sometimes, especially with the obviously the radio and the
Yeah,
you know the following, but we still have the dedicated fans here too. So it's always good to hear bands like you guys putting out new material.
yeah, that's very cool because of course the pandemic let us write a lot of songs. Um, but it's really nice to hear that metal is coming back, and even in Europe, all the festivals are packed, and it's hard for small bands or little bands like us to get all the fans into a club or something.
Right.
So venues will be a little bit smaller, but on the other hand, festivals, they are sold out so often. You, it grows, it comes back, and that's really cool. But not on the on other like TV or radio. The radio stations still hate metal. Um, but I just saw a commercial from the German football league, and there was like Powerwolf did the music for it.
Oh, nice, nice.
That was really nice because I was thinking, good job for them. Good job.
That's always good to hear when you get to hear commercials. I mean, I know. Well, at least here in the U.S., we hear. Twisted Sister did one obviously for Discover, and I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys get that over in Europe, but to be able to actually bring metal into the mass market like that in any
Yeah,
way possible is always a good thing.
it is. It is. And commercials bring a lot of money too. You
That's
know,
that's the key right there.
yeah, because if you're on TV or a radio station, that's good for the band. It supports it a lot.
Absolutely. Well, hey, you guys have the new album coming out. It's May 19th. Uh Hellriot, and let's put it this way, the first time I heard the new single, I was blown away, man. That's a fantastic way to start out an album. And tell us a little bit about that. I mean, May 19th, obviously, and I got the tracks early, obviously, in the media, so I got to listen to everything. And it's a powerful piece, I'll tell you what.
Uh, yeah, I when they came up with this song, it's one of Evan's songs. So Evan and me, we are mostly doing the music for the songs, and it's one of Evan's songs. And I guess we put like 3 songs for the first 3 singles from Evan. Of course, he's a young guy. He brings new influences into the band, and we love to support that.
Right.
And that song was like you can listen to it and you can get blown away, but it's more of fun song. Hellriot is a little bit about coming back from the pandemic and do your own stuff and stand up and be back in your life. And
Right.
it was quite cool. And with the video, we had a lot of ideas about them, and we did it the first time with Frank in Switzerland,
Right.
and he got everything, like all the crosses and the lights for that, and of course Switzerland, and it was winter, so we could have these girls running through the snow and everything. That was a great idea just to do it because everything fit together.
Right.
Yeah, that's how we did all this, and that's how we brought the singer.
I think that's cool too because the video, when you see it, it's very well put together. I think it fits the song really well, and it really it kind of takes it to the next level. So like I said, people that are younger listeners, and maybe haven't heard the band, to be introduced that way, I think that really says a lot to you about you guys and how great the sound really is.
Yeah, they did a good job, and the influences the new guys bring are really cool. It's not only about the music, you know, it's about life and about the attitude for life. Sometimes they just say, come on, we had a show, relax. But we don't know that because we're always like, okay, let's go there and there's an interview and we can do this. And they're like, okay, let's count down. Let's count down,
Right.
because if we do this, like we've been on tour for 16 days in a row. And if you do it like that, you do it like for 1 week and then your power is gone. So
Right.
they just, you know, come on, calm down. And the younger guys do this with us. And that's just one of many points, but that's really cool.
That is cool because you, like you said, those younger guys, you know, interjected into the band. They bring that new energy. And,
Yeah, yeah,
and
totally.
it's always good too that to have somebody younger in there too, you know, because you know, you grow that aspect of the fan base as well. The younger kids kind of connect with those guys, and you know that's great to see.
Yeah, that's really cool. And they bring stuff. Sometimes they come. I don't know which band it was. It was like, but even showed up, and he was like, he told me, listen to this band, and I listened to the band. It was cool stuff. And then I watched on YouTube, and they had like 10 million hits, and I was like,
Wow.
I didn't even know that. And that's totally cool because they're always online and they know everything about Facebook, Insta, and everything. Well,
Right.
that's quite a good influence for everybody. And we listen to them. And if they have to say something and it's cool, we do it that way. Why not try something new?
Right, exactly. It keeps you fresh. It keeps the material fresh, and so many different writing ideas too out of that.
Yes, of course. And it's still okay because we have the more old rock and roll style too on this album. So
Right.
we have a good mixture for everything. Even the old fans can find a lot, but of course the band evolved a lot in the last years. Of course, because time is running and we don't want to do only this old school stuff because we had these albums. If we want to have an old school show, we can just take the old songs. So for us, it's good to do one step after the other and evolve a bit.
I've noticed, especially you know from you know the last two albums. Obviously, you can see the you know the growth in the band. You know, I see more of the you know the melodic side of it. You know,
Yeah,
where you guys are really hitting the you know the choruses are huge. You know, and the
yeah,
very smooth.
that's right. That's right. But even the old fans will find that we're still Missy Prophecy and sound like them.
Exactly. You guys still have the heavy sound and the
Yeah,
it's a you know when I look at power metal and you know like I said when I listen to what you guys do, that's exactly you know the way power metal should be. It should be like in your face, huge. It's almost like you're in the arena, and that's what I love about it.
yeah. Well, we have a big influence from the old Bay Area thrash metal bands too. As we
Right,
love like Testament or Metallica, of course.
right.
Everybody has Anthrax, Slayer, you know, all that cool old bands. Um, and we have this we still have this influence a bit. And I guess that's one of the points that you can hear only with Mystic Prophecy. We're, for a German power metal band, we're a bit too hard, but I guess we are one of the only German metal bands who does it like that, and that makes it a little bit unique.
Yeah, that's good. You know, it doesn't classify you like just in that one you know
Yeah,
little place right there. You know, it has it's something different. And I'm
yeah.
no, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt
No,
you,
no,
but
no,
go.
I just, you know, I just agreed. That's it.
I'll tell you what, you know, being a metal fan for so long that, you know, as I've been and listening to all the different styles and everything, I think you know, I really kind of side to the Euro bands and the way you guys do things. I think it's just, you know, with the American side, you know, we know the differences there. But with the Euro side, it just seems like there's more it's a little more cohesive. It just kind of seems like it's a little bit better structured, at least nowadays. You know, when I listen to guys like you and say a Primal Fear or a band like that.
Yeah, of course. They're neighbors, Prime of Fear.
Good stuff.
40 kilometers in the south. But yeah, possibly for me as a musician and for me as a human, I'm looking over there to America, and perhaps you can, if you listen to songs like Rising with the Storm or Azrael, World of Across the Line, there are a lot of American influences. I just found out that you guys have bands like Brantley Gilbert, Chester James, with this dark rock feeling, country feeling, and
Right.
they're perfect songs. Like, Brantley Gilbert it pushed me away. I will never forget that night when I was clicking on YouTube and I found him and I was like, what the hell? And what a huge sound, what a great voice, and
Right.
how everything rolls. And I guess I put it a little bit in the new songs I wrote.
That's good to have that, that little bit of variation too, because, you could hear it in here, you could hear the influences, but it's, hearing all that different stuff. I mean, that has to be good for you, when you
Yeah.
come in with new things to go and say, man, I got a new idea here.
Yeah, that's totally cool. You find yourself in another situation because you have so many ideas and you create the songs on another way. That was really new for me. The 5 songs I wrote were like really, perhaps they came with the overdubs and the choruses first, and I'm used to create the riff first on the other albums. So that was totally new for me, and but that's okay because it's another way being creative,
Right.
and that's another side of Mystic Prophecy.
And what's it like, I know you've been in the band for a while now, you've been working with RD for, a long period of time.
Yeah.
What's it like now as far as, when you started, going into the studio now? I mean, is it something where you guys, it just seems like each album gets better and better and better. And is that something that you just go in and you say, look, we need to up our game, and, because that's a good thing. I mean, it keeps you fresh, it keeps you moving.
Yeah, but everybody changed a bit, and the first albums we wrote with Leah, we had to go really to a studio and record there. And
Right.
what we did is we worked with these like 8-track recorders and something. So if once you bounced something, you couldn't go back. And now you have all this stuff with the computers, and you can
Right.
program your drums and everything, and that makes it much easier. So right now we started to work. Everybody's got his own studio, so we just send the songs, and somebody got an idea like on Sunday night, he can just write it immediately, send it, and on the next day I can read, or even can read and change something and try. That makes it even better and easier to work. And on this album, of course, we had like 2 years. We stuck in our studios, so that was a good thing. So we can spend a lot of time for the album.
Right.
And what we did and what we do is, I record my guitars in my own studio. It's not about the sound, but it's about the DI tracks. So
Right.
if I don't want to record anymore, I can leave it alone and record on the next day.
Right.
Or on the other hand, if I want to record like 15 hours, I can. And it's not that expensive. I just switch on my computer and that's it. That helps a lot for recording and for the whole process. And then I send it just to the studio, to the Prophecy Studios from Leah, and he can listen to the final product. And he don't needs to listen to like 200 tracks with like 1,000 mistakes. It's really its final product, and he can say, okay, now it's cool. I didn't expect that. Okay, let's do this and that again, and I can do it because it's full rechargeable, and so it's really easy.
That has to be nice too when you go in and you can actually be relaxed about, the writing. You don't have to be under that pressure that, hey, you got a producer in there and he's telling you, do this, do this,
That's
do
it.
this.
That's it. And you know, he just dial in some sound you don't like and you don't want to play with, but you need, because you cannot bring another sound just for recordings and everything. Yeah, that's a good step, and it helps to save money, of course,
Right.
and to spend more time with the music. You can concentrate on the creative part, not on the, let's say, affordable part.
Right. 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 You could really hear it too. I mean, when I listen, I look at Demons of the Night, Revenge and Fire. I mean, just those are two that stand out to me. Just listening through a few times, and then I don't even know what to say other than it's a good epic power metal album. It's just something I love. It's one of those ones you get in a car or I get in
Yeah,
my truck and man, I just blow the windows out, disturb the neighbors. You
yeah.
know how that is. Great
I
album,
love.
it really is.
I'm just searching a track too, but
That's it.
yeah, I'm into these American V8 cars. I have a '69 Chevelle.
Nice, nice. Oh,
Ah,
we're
yeah,
gonna be we're gonna be real good friends now. There we go.
yeah, man. That's,
That's
and I
great.
have for the summer. It's an all-day car. I drive an Explorer, Chevy Express, but Explorer. So
Nice.
it's really nice for me. So I can sleep wherever I want to, and we have all these U.S. car fairs in meetings and everywhere, and that's what we do when we're not on stage.
That's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, and
man.
right now I'm looking for kind of truck like from the '70s with a big block perhaps. Let's see, because there's one place in my garage is still free, and there needs to be something.
Yeah, you gotta have something in it. That's it.
Because I have the space. There needs to be something.
That's great to hear. Yeah, we grew up in that. I mean, I grew up in when I was born, I was brought home in a '69 SS Nova,
Wow, cool.
396. And then we just, we went on from there. My dad had a '67 Corvette. There was
Oh, yeah.
A 427 400 with the trip carburetors and just all those. Yeah, 70 Hemi Cuda,
Oh, cool, cute.
which oh man, I wish he still had that. But that's great to hear that. I mean, those cars there's nothing like them.
Yeah, those are really cool. And I'm just, need to rip out the engine right now and need to repair it. But I let it repair. I just send it to somebody, and you know, and because it needs a little bit too much oil right now. And I guess I could have a little bit more power if everything works fine. And that's okay. I'm just a cruiser, I just like to lay back and listen to the V8 engine, and yeah, let's roar it, and then I'm fine.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is.
It
It is.
really
It's
is.
one of the best. And just meet some guys with other cars too, and then sit there
Right.
and let them, drive around. And boy, that's totally my kind of work.
Those are good things. And that boy, does that tie in good? A power metal guy with a muscle car. I mean,
Yeah,
it just
can't be
flows
better.
nicely. That's it. That's it. We were talking about we got onto the writing process and everything, and you got into some of the things as far as when the way you write now. Is it how is it? I know it has those variances, like when you go into the studio, but what's it like for you? Is how do you compare going into the studio to do any recording as opposed to like you said, doing it at home? And is it more cohesive with the guys in there, or is it just a better process all around being by yourself?
You have to take care. If you do it like we do it, you have to take care that everything's everything's got to smooth from time to time. Like it's there are no really shapes and no steps, nothing. It's just like getting a good rock song or something. But we need this roughness. So sometimes I step back and just listen to it, and perhaps then I need another riff. And sometimes that's what I do is I grab my stuff and go to the rehearsal room, just crank up my amplifier, and work on riffs and just record it. And that brings new rough riffs. and then I go back to the studio and record it. So that helps me a lot. So it's not only sitting in the studio and having a glass of red wine and all this comfortable stuff. You need to bring back the metal, even if it's comfortable for you. And this is it's a kind of danger that you make it too smooth, too without any kinds of corners and everything.
Right.
But if you take care about that, perhaps we find our way right now.
Yeah, you have that little bit of edge.
Yeah, yes, of course. And
have.
this bad attitude, it needs to be, it's part of Mystic Prophecy. It always was, and we want to keep that. But that's a difference to other bands. Like I love like Sinner or Primal Fear and all the other bands, German bands, but they're more smooth. We need to be more rough because we don't want to make the same music. We have our own style, and our style needs a little bit more roughness, and we want to conserve that for us. And this is a special thing. Sometimes we discuss that with our younger guys. Even often says, because he studied guitars, I learned it like Zach Wild, Dimebag Darrell. They just came from the street and they worked on the guitar like hours, and then they played like God. But they had this too, and the two young guys, they studied their instrument, and it's really like two worlds coming together sometimes. But they started to understand what we do, and sometimes I need to listen to them because they exactly knew, okay, don't play on F sharp, just do it, something else. And then they show, and if it's good, then we make it like they say. So we have a good connection, and everybody's got his ideas, and so everybody grows up with the other one.
And you could see that too. You brought that up with with the way you guys play together. It's it seems like you feed off of each other, and you could really hear that in the sound of the new album.
That's it. But when we're on stage, our mixing guy fucking hates it because one of us, even he plays with the digital stuff, and I'm the old school guy, still having a hat and a cap, and just crank it up and let it roar. And that's not too easy to mix because he can play like 2,000 notes in 1 second. I can't. I'll never be able to play like him. On the other hand, I have this huge sound as a bottom, and that works together right now. But it took us some shows until we got it, and that we could bring everything together to one wall of sound in front of stage for the audience.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I'd love to see you guys live. I could just imagine, in here we get the bands that come in. I saw Primal Fear twice, and I'm in Pittsburgh here in the U.S. And it would be nice. I'm hoping that now that the pandemic is kind of past us, more or less to see some of the Euro bands start to come in here, because it's great to see you guys come in.
Yeah, that would be really nice. But to be honest, the problem is we can barely afford touring here in Europe,
right?
Because everything is getting more and more expensive, and you have there are many reasons. The gas prices, so the nightliner prices rise up. But on the other hand, you don't have any bus drivers anymore because during the pandemic, they had no job, so they just switched to another job. And now everybody's searching for bus drivers, for mixing guys, for guitar techs. They're not here anymore. So everything got so expensive because there is nobody we can book. And the few guys, they're still here, but of course they're expensive. So if you put that, and we can barely do it here right now, we couldn't afford to have a full tour in America with all the documents, then renting all the backline stuff. And of course, America is not getting cheaper too. So our chance to play over there would be playing some festivals. That would be nice for doing the first step over there and meet some fans, grow up a little bit, and then let's see what will happen. Because in festivals, everything is there. I just need the cable, my guitar, plug in, that's it. really easy.
That's nice.
And so that's cool. This is how we did it in Prog Power.
Okay,
Once
good
we
one.
played Prog Power, and that was really cool. And you guys over there, you can you work really precisely. If when I left the stage on soundcheck, um, just somebody I never met told me, leave it alone and just take your guitar and it will be prepared. And really, there were like 5 bands. Everybody played the same gear.
Right.
And I came back on stage and wanted to, doing my settings, but everything was perfect. That was really, really nice. It was
Right.
a nice experience. So you guys were really nice if it's up to stage, text, and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I get what you're talking about too, as far as how everything is now, post pandemic with the
Yeah.
prices especially, and the way the club owners operate too. I mean, everybody's looking to, hey, we need to make sure that this band's going to bring in a crowd,
Yeah.
because that everybody's so based on profits and profiting and making sure that the business moves forward, that it kind of hurts the industry too, especially if you're a smaller band, trying to move up. Makes it
Yeah,
really
I guess
difficult.
I guess there's been the middle bands are the problem. If you're really small and you don't need the money because you don't have that much risk, you play just in a club somewhere like 1 hour from here, then there's no problem because it's like a hobby. You can make it. Everything is cool. But and the big bands, they still have their audience. They
Right.
sell out big venues. It's no problem at all. But for bands like Mystic Prophecy, it's hard. You have to deal with the clubs. The clubs say, okay, we make it like 50-50 from the door deal. And then we sell all the drinks and everything and the beverages. So then you need to bring the people inside the club because then you need it because you have all the fees for going in the city because every city needs another fee because you go in with diesel. Europe
Right.
is really strange about that. And perhaps you need a nightliner. If not, you need 2 or 3 cars to bring your
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Um, yeah, and hotels and everything. That's we do a lot of and high risks. I guess
Right.
the last tour we just coming back from tour with Gravedigger, and that was a high risk too because we had a huge nightliner for 2 bands, and all of them deals were door deals. It
Right.
worked out in the end, but barely.
Right. It's tough because you never know what you're going to get. I mean, if you get say some kind of bad weather comes in, things
That's
that
it.
you don't anticipate. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. There were like shows you sold like 300 tickets, but only 200 showed up.
Right.
We have a lot of no-show tickets right now. Some are still afraid of COVID. The other ones don't come because they have another show. But if you
Right.
postpone a show, and everybody postponed everything,
Right.
you never know if you can go to the postponed show because you have like the fans have like this bunch of tickets.
Right.
That's it's really hard for the fans too. So they don't sell they don't buy any tickets anymore because they have enough tickets at home.
Right. Right.
That makes it really dangerous, and you don't know if you can afford all that. But as long as we have day jobs and as long as we can take the risk, we're gonna do that.
Right. It's tough. I mean, you have to have that security blanket behind you.
Yeah, a
Nowadays,
little
man,
bit. Yes,
it's
yes, of
it's just
course,
a
of course.
it's a whole different industry. I mean, now than what it used to be.
Yeah, it is, and it's a lot of discussion if you need something from your label or something, because of course they need to take care about their money too.
Right.
Um, it was a bit easier right before the pandemic, but I guess music business changed anyway.
Yeah. How do you feel as far as digital? I like to ask the artist. I mean, a lot of the people in my circle, we love the physical product. because of, growing up, you had to, you got to open up the CD, and that's a whole new experience. You get to read the lyrics, and it was a connection with the entire art form. And
Yeah.
nowadays it's just a, click a button and here it is.
Well, we in Europe, I guess in America, it's the same, perhaps. We sell a lot of vinyl right now. We sell more vinyl than CDs.
Right.
And I guess time of the CD is over because you don't need a CD. If you go to your car and want to, listen to some music, just take Spotify and everything is cool.
Right.
But vinyl is coming back, and that's really nice because Missy Prophecy is really taking care about the artwork. And if you have all that cool covers and you see it on a vinyl, that's so nice to see it in a huge picture in front of you, and that gives you goosebumps. And then you can imagine how the music, you can imagine perhaps the music and the sound and the wall of sound and how hard it is. And we love that that vinyl is coming back. And I must say, even I'm not a Spotify listener. I even don't have Spotify, not yet, but I will.
Either.
Because Spotify helps bands too. You cannot earn anything with Spotify, but on the other hand, all the festival guys, all the promoters, they have a look on Spotify, and they know, okay, so many clicks, we can book the band or we cannot. So this is really a good connection, and you cannot, I hope, you cannot buy the clicks there. You can buy hits on YouTube and everything, so nobody cares about YouTube anymore. But all the promoters have a look on this Spotify thing, so it helps your band, even if you don't get any money about that.
It's just so it's weird to even talk about that. I'm sure, to think about how it used to be, all those years ago when everybody would come up and, hey, we had CDs and we had the the merchandise. How about you guys as far as merchandising? I mean, what's it like for the fans at the shows? I mean, like you said, those album covers are epic. I mean, everything that you do is cool like that.
Yeah, that's Leah's hobby horse a little bit, and he always knows that. He's really good. He cannot draw, and he's not somebody who can make it by his own, but he's got all the ideas, and he's got the picture in his mind and in front of his eyes, and then he tells some guy, okay, come on, let's do it like this or like that. I want to have that. And he always has the merchandise in his mind when he talks about the cover. So he knows exactly, okay, take this monster on a shirt. This sword is good for a girly shirt, and perhaps you make bags. We can have these skulls and put it to the bags, and he knows all that. And this is one picture for him, and he knows how to deal with it. And sometimes he says, okay, if we write a song like that, we can make the cover like that, so everything fits together. Of course, with the Hellriot, it's the name of the album. It always says, do it like this, the artwork, it's a direction.
Right.
And but that's Leah's thing. He knows everything about the graphics and how he wants to have it. And we have, I guess, like 5 different vinyls, and they're all restricted to like 300 pieces.
Right.
So this was a lot of work, I guess. But it's all part of the cover. You can see everything. Cover, he just took it out and put it on the vinyl, and that's it. So that, he knows everything about that.
That's good to have that, that setup too, because it means so much, especially for you guys. Like you said, when bands at the level need to have, the fans interacting.
It makes it easy for me because I don't have to take care about that stuff too.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because really, I'm not a painter and I'm not an artist for that kind of stuff. Really not.
Right.
And if it comes out and when the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. And it made me goosebumps and everything. That was really cool, but I couldn't do it by myself. And
Right.
there's really a lot of work to maintain my own stuff, like my studio, my guitars, my amps. We had right now we're back from tour, and I had to change my tubes, but there were no tubes. Everything was gone. You couldn't
Wow.
get the right tubes. So I was like everywhere on the internet and on telephone. Then I got tubes and they sounded okay, but a little bit different. But just to say, there's a lot of work just to maintain your own stuff. And when you come
Right.
back from tour, after every tour, something broke down. Every tour. I don't know why, but
Right.
you just have to take about this. Perhaps it's better if you play this digital stuff, because it's just a computer. If this one doesn't boot anymore, just throw it away and take the other one, because you have a stick with your data, so everything
Right.
is easy.
Right.
But I have a special tube amp, and I'd like to take care about it and play it the next years too.
Right. You get that certain sound that you like and the equipment that you like. It offsets you from what other guys sound like. And that's a good thing, I think.
Yes, of course, and it's a special thing. When I bought this amp when I was 21.
Nice.
That means I carried it around over whole Europe since 27 years right now, and of course you have to take care about that. But when I bought it, I knew, okay, when I sound shitty, it's not the amp anymore. Now it's me. Because I always search for my sound and search, and this amp doesn't sound good, and that amp doesn't sound good, and then I bought this one. What the fuck? Now it's me, and
Right.
I started practicing that, and then I recognized that, okay, I'm not gonna be the new Zach Wild, and I'm not gonna be the new Eddie Van Halen and stuff, because my skills are cool and I'm fine with that, but I have to take care about something else. And then I work just on my sound, to have a fat sound. But people ask me sometimes, how do you bring that sound through your cap? And I was like, train your right hand. It's all about the right and left hand. It's not about the amp. Sometimes, when we have light shows, I even don't have my amp with me. I just have something what stays on what's on stage.
Right.
But it's all about your hand. And I listen to all the huge guys with the big tones, and how do they play? How do they have the right hand? How do they do palm mutes and everything? And that was the way I worked. It's a little bit different to other guys, but I guess I've just found my way.
I think that's great to hear too, because in these albums you could hear that it kind of commands the attention to have. Honestly, it has that
Yeah,
power, and it has, like, man, that crunch. That's what you want to hear. That's power
yeah,
metal.
yeah. That's it. That's it. I tell you something. Sometimes I switch from one pick to another, just like every part of the song, because I want to have a special chuck in my sound, or even not. So I change picks. So I don't care about to stop and have different style of picks, because just for the album, of course. But um, yeah, that's how it works for me. I'm totally especially and focused on the sound. That's the most important thing for me when I record my guitars, and I'm really picky about that.
And that's a good thing, and it's good to hear. You describing that too, about how the sound, because when a listener, a fan goes into it, to be able to hear, now when I listen to Mystic Prophecy, I'm looking at it differently, because I understand how you did it, and the reason behind why you did it. And it makes it for even a better experience, coming from a listener standpoint.
Yes, just of course, sometimes it's interesting for a listener too, how we work. Most of this recording stuff is really boring for everybody. It's even boring for us recording our stuff. But some of the developer guys said, I don't know who was it, but it was in the 90s, I guess. He said, if you want to play in the huge arenas, write songs for the arenas. And that was a really smart sentence, not only about the songs. If you want to have a special kind of sound, write the riffs for it. No, it, if you, we totally have different styles, even in me, but of course, I lose a little bit of my sound when we play his songs. I don't have any problem with that. But if I have to play my own sounds and have to create my own riffs, I always listen to how big can I grow this sound with this riff.
Right.
So it comes back to the one sentence of Def Leppard. If you want to play a special kind, or you want to sound a special kind of music, then write everything for that you want to write. Write it how you want to sound.
That's great to hear, because that was actually one of my next questions. You talked about the the style and the songs, and you guys did the covers album. That was really cool, because you listened, like Proud Mary for an example. Man, that's a twist, because that song, you know what it sounded like when Creedence recorded it, and then you listen to the way you guys did it, which I thought was a great take on it, bringing that metal edge to it.
It was a fun album too. Like Tom Jones, Sex Bomb, nobody,
Right.
in metal does make a song like that. And sometimes I needed to tell Leah, hey Leah, you should you need to take care about the lyrics, because if you sing that you're a sex bomb, it's a little bit picky, but we had a lot of fun there. It was sometimes they were like hard to play stuff, like Keep Me Hanging On, the lick was
Right.
so hard to play for me, and but I wanted to do that, and I just practiced like 2 weeks or 3 just to record that one lick. But
That's
that
cool.
made it so special. That made it so special, because they were pop songs and not really metal rock songs. And
Right.
I guess not so many bands do this, to bring a whole album with pop songs from the 80s and 90s. Yeah, that was really fun, and it helped the band a lot, because sometimes, even in my day job, some people told me, I found an album and it was like a cover. It was so cool. They even don't know Mystic Prophecy, but they found the cover. And perhaps some guys can find Mystic Prophecy because they just listen to a Spotify list or something.
It's I don't even know how to explain it. I thought it was really cool, listening to it, because you guys, you didn't just tie in the song sounded great, like Billy Squier, The Stroke, doing that one. That was you guys beefed that one up. But the album cover too, the way how you said the album cover ties in with like Elton John and Donna Summer. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, because I always know the hellish and devilish artworks from Leah, and he showed up with that one, and I totally was blown away from it, because it was so unexpected.
Right.
But I called him up and told him, dude, this is one of the best covers, because this is so cool. You can like watch it and like for an hour, and you find details you will see.
Right.
It's really, I don't know how he does that. Perhaps that's really really a special thing. It was really a special thing for us too.
Yeah, that's a really cool album cover. That's like nothing I've ever seen, and I thought he incorporated it really well with all the songs, and because it brought you guys in, your style, but it added all those pop elements to it. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
really
it was kind of our colors too. So it's like in this blue and fire stuff a little bit, but I love how they made all the characters on the album, and the faces from
Right.
all the musicians is really nice, and it's not too funny. It's something between serious, but with
Right.
with a blink of an eye. That's cool. Yeah, that was fun doing this album.
That's cool. I definitely wanted to ask you about that. That's why I had it on my list, but for sure. But you guys have you do have a small tour coming up in the spring, correct? Believe it
Yeah,
starts in April. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what I know we're not going to see you in the US, obviously, unfortunately, but
yeah. That
what's
won't
that going to
happen
be
on
like?
this that won't happen on this tour, but yeah, we booked that tour with all the risk I told right before, and but that was so cool to have these release shows because they are special. We never played new songs from the new album, and we're gonna play 4 songs of the new album, and we even rehearsed them, and they sound a little bit different. Perhaps it's really nice to have our headliner show like 90 minutes and put some of these new songs between the old ones. That's gonna be a nice experience for us and for the for the audience too, and
Right.
sell some new merch. And there are some nice clubs too. I'm looking forward to do this tour, and I like the guys from Hammer King. They're with us, and they're really funny guys. This is
That's cool.
no. Perhaps we should call it the No Bitches Tour because everybody.
Everybody
But
gets along. It's good.
yeah, there are no pitches tour. But on the other hand, I have to say with Gravedigger, it worked out really fine too. There were no like all the you don't go backstage and we all worked together. And even I can remember that one night when we had no hands at all, and our crew showed up and said, "Come on, guys, it's too much equipment. Can you have a hand?" And everybody came out. Everybody, even the singer of Gravedigger, everybody were out and helped to pack the trailer. That was a nice move, and so it was a no bitches tour too.
Yeah, that puts a stamp on it right there. When you get the other guys coming in and helping out,
Yeah,
that's a good
that's
thing.
really nice because these days you need to take care of your crew, and if they want to have some help, it's better to help them. And in our bands, it's like the crew and the musicians are on the same level because there's just we need the one needs the other, and there's no more important job. It is not because just one guy missing and we won't have a show. It doesn't matter if it's a musician or a crew because you don't have 2 guitar tags or 2.5 drum tags. You have 1 drum tag and 1 guitar tag, and
Right.
if one of them is missing, there's no show.
Right. It just knocks the whole thing out.
Yeah, and they're part of the family. They're so funny guys anyway. So that's just we just grew together.
That's good to hear that you guys are that tight with everybody, and that means so much to the quality and the actually the finished product. When you're
Yeah,
happy with what you're doing, it makes so much of a big difference.
yeah, exactly,
Hey, you
exactly
guys.
that.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. That's important, and I guess all the bands do this step right now and have this connection to the crew. I know if the crew is getting too big, so that you're like 5 musicians and like 10 or 15 guys for crew, and you have to, roll them out. Sometimes, the tour guys do just half of the tour and then they have step-ins and everything. Okay, this might be a problem, but treat your crew well. That's one of the most important things you can do because in the end we're all one family. It's one traveling party, and if you have some beef there, it's not good for the musicians too. You need to concentrate on your show, and after the show having a good time. That's it.
Yeah, it's good to hear because you can hear the professionalism too, and it comes across to us as fans. You know, you've been doing this for, a long while now. And, you've been in the industry and you've, I'm sure you've seen so many different things over those years. What is what's the legacy that you want Mystic Prophecy to have, when you look back and say, man, we started here, I started here. What's something that you want to say, hey, look, this is our legacy. What do you want that to be as far as Mystic Prophecy?
Or we had so many points where we did the next step or a step back. That happens too. That we have like on there was one album called Kill Hammer, and
Right.
that was a little bit a step back for us because we've been on tour, everything broke down a bit, and we didn't know if we can. Of course, we bring the next album, but if we can't do it like this anymore because the band didn't grow anymore. And
Right.
but back in the days, we had the luck that we played with so many cool bands. We've been on tour with Death Angel 20 years ago. Hell yeah.
Right. That's
And
cool.
yeah, that was really cool. It was a bullshit tour, really. The clubs were shitty, dirty, nightliner were total bullshit. We couldn't even do the whole tour because everybody went so sick that 3 or 5 bands had to cancel the last shows because
Oh, geez.
we just put we brought Leah to the hospital straight because the lung was so bad. Gus and me, we were at home and we shit our pants like 10 times in the
Oh, that's
evening,
bad.
and that was really hard. And my girlfriend back then, she was a nurse, and she just gave us everything went fine like 2 or 3 days later. But yeah, that was the beginning, kind of. And look what we played, like Wacken, Summer Breeze on main stage,
Right.
all these big festivals, and we met all the guys like Sabaton. We've been on tour with Powerwolf. Um, what that's all. That's what let you grow as a human too, not only as a
Right.
musician. And that's what is good for your appearance on stage too. You
Right.
don't care about every single note, but it's cool that you be on stage, being the rock star on stage, never behind the stage, only on stage. And that's a thing. I guess that's really important, how we grew as people and as musicians.
Right.
Not about the technique stuff, just about the appearance on stage and how we know to connect to the people.
That's great to hear. That really is. I mean, that's so important to hear, how the bands connect with the fans,
Yeah.
because, all I needed to do was hear you guys one time and you got me forever. I'll be listening until, I'm on my deathbed. Let's put it that way. But
Yeah.
how about in closing? Is there anything that you want to get out to the fans? I mean, we know the new album, obviously, Hellriot, May 19th. It's a great
I
album,
guess.
everybody.
Yeah. Thank you very
That's
much.
it.
I guess everybody just should listen to the album. I guess nowadays it's really easy. You just click on Spotify or listen to 3 or 4 songs on YouTube, and we're gonna release the next single on Thursday, I guess.
Nice.
Um, and just have a click in it, because even if you know the old albums, the new ones are a little bit different, but we're still Mystic Prophecy, and we'll ever be Mystic Prophecy. And if you have the chance to come to one of our shows, just come, show up, and have a good time with us. Because we are still fans too, so we have a good connections.
Man, that's good to hear. And I like to close out, I close this out with all my interviews is Marcus, I want to just say thank you for what you do, because there's so many, my passion for the music and the love for the music is all based because of what you guys do. And
Yeah.
and that level of appreciation, I can't say thank you enough. So keep doing it, keep producing that great music, because it's such a good part of my life and so many other fans' lives to be able to have that, and and having that to appreciate. And I really appreciate what you do, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the band wouldn't be anything without fans, without the guys all around, like doing interviews and just have a good time on the interview. Well, like right now, it doesn't feel like working. It's like having a connections and talking about V8s. Everything is cool. Then I'm on the right place.
That's all good stuff, man. Hey, I'd love to have you back on the show again at some time. And
yes, of course.
I love
Just drop
talking
me a
with you.
note. Are you on Facebook so we can connect?
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay.
All right, Marcus. Thanks. Have a good day. And everybody that's listening, man, Hellriot, May 19th. Blow the windows out of your car. That's a deal.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna send you a pic. Bye.
You got it, man. Thank you.